Hi everyone, welcome back to Infinite Math Help Squared. This video is going to be a shorter version of partial quotients. I have another one that is pretty lengthy, so I wanted to shorten it. And the first one that we're going to look at is with wholes, and then we're going to apply it to decimals and see what that might look like. So let's start by taking something, let's see, we'll use okay, 565 divided by 5. Okay, when we use partial quotients, we are taking into account place value. And it's very similar to when we do partial products, where we break apart the steps into their place values. But in this case, we're dividing. Okay, so let's take a look at the number 565. 565 consists of the number 500, of the number 60, and of the number 5, right? I have all three of those numbers in 565. So if we think about partially dividing, how many times can 5 go into 500? Well, it takes 100 of them, because 100 times 5 is 500. Okay, what are we left with? The 65. Okay, now think about how many 5s can go into 60. Well, 12 can, because 12 times 5 is 60. What's left? There's only the 5 left. How many 5s can go into 5? Only 1, because 1 times 5 is 5. And now I have nothing left. I've gotten through the whole dividend, right? So what's the actual quotient though? So same thing as with partial products, we have to add this all up. I have 100, I have 12, and I have 1. If you add it all up together, then we have 113. So the final result is that if I have 565 and I cut it equally into 5 groups, I would have 113 of them. All right, and that's that. Okay, now let's take a look at what happens if maybe I have a decimal under the dividing bar, right? Instead of it being 565, maybe it's 56.5. Let's see what that would look like. Let's see how that changes things. Okay. I'll leave that one over to the left so that we remember what we had for 565 divided by 5. And I'll erase this. And let's do 56.5 instead. Now, when we add and subtract decimals, we have to make sure that the decimals are lined up. Well, in division, you have to make sure that it's lined up in your answer as well. All right, so that is a fixed point, and we don't want to move that around no matter what we do with the numbers. Okay, I can still do this as partial products, or I can use a standard algorithm. I do have a long division standard algorithm video, and I will link it at the end of this one. But if we use partial quotients, then my number here is 56, and then the 5/10, right? So 5 into 50 would go 10 times, 10 wholes, and that will give me 50. I'm left with the 6.5. Okay, how about the 6? 5 can go into 6 one time, and that is, hold on, let me put the 0 there so that we keep this, and then 1. So that's 5.0, and we're left with 1.5. Uh-oh. So now, like, what happens here? How many times can 5 go into 1.5? Well, it actually can't go in even one time. So we're obviously not going to put our answer here in the 1 spot because it's not even 1. But what is it? Well, if this was actually, if this was 5 going into 15, we would have said 3. And there's a decimal point here. So what if I did this? 3/10 times 5. Okay, let's try that. 3/10 times 5 would equal 15 over 10. And if you've seen the other videos where we have patterns dividing and multiplying by 10, you would know that when we divide by 10, it really just moves the decimal 1 place to the left, which would be 1.5, which is what we were looking for. So that little 3/10 up there is accurate. Okay, so now that we finished that part, and we know that we're down to 0, now we can add these up for our answer. 10 plus 1 plus 0.3. Okay, so if we compare this answer to this answer, what do you notice? The decimal, it's the same digits, 113, 113, same digits, but the decimal's in a different spot. In this number, the decimal is over here because this is 113 wholes. But over here, it's 11 and 3/10. Okay, so that's partial quotients. That's how that works. So till next time.